Heyo, your friendly neighborhood quarter guy here, and wouldn't you know it, the US government shut down. I'm not the kind of person who would play games with pointing fingers, but there's blame to go around on both sides. Yeah, see, there's this little thing called compromise that today's American political parties don't seem to understand. At least that's not the impression I'm getting from what I've been hearing lately. The Dems are saying that the GOP wanted to force the shutdown. The GOP is saying that the Dems' plan is just a waste of money. It's all one big mess. But I hate talking about politics. Let's talk a little bit about the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, some really good stuff came out of that. Sonic is returning for Smash Bros. 4. Super Mario 3D World had a new trailer, and I have to admit, I was really impressed. I am really looking forward to that game. Let's see, Pikmin 3 is getting some DLC missions. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics is getting online play, about friggin' time. And, oh, I have to say this. New Kirby game for the 3DS. I was so happy to see that. I was freaking out inside when I saw the announcement. And it looks really cool. Also, I need to say a couple things about A Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. They introduced something new. The item rental shop. I don't know about you, but I think this might make for an interesting change of pace. Because it'll basically, well, quite possibly allow you to take on the dungeons in any order you choose. I'm seeing this as a game that goes for exploration over plot. Yeah, but it's Zelda. What are you going to do? I mean, Zelda's going to be awesome no matter what. Oh, wait. Anyways, progress. I am coming along very well on Top 10 One More Try moments. It should be out very soon, in the next few days, I hope. Oh, by the way, the reason why I'm doing this on Wednesday and not Thursday is because every Thursday this month, barring any unforeseen circumstances, I will be doing my first Let's Boss play. Appropriately enough, it's of Super Castlevania 4 for the Super NES. It's going to be divided over 5 episodes, one releasing each Thursday, hopefully, leading up to the finale on Halloween night. So that's going to be awesome. Anyways, on to user questions. First question comes from AFI 702213. He asks, what console do you think had the hardest games, and what game do you think was the hardest for that console? Let's just say this. There is a reason that the term Nintendo Hard exists. I am, of course, referring to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, all the way back then. I mean, games back then were unforgiving for the most part. Mainly because graphics and sound technology hadn't really evolved, and stories in games really weren't that developed yet. So, developers had to rely on the game to keep people playing. And what made a game last back then? Making a game hard, that's how. As far as the hardest game, I borrowed Battletoads from a friend once, and let's just say I never got that far. Not to mention the fact that Battletoads has something I despise. Friendly fire. I mean, what is the point of co-op if you can actually hurt your partner? Why? It makes no sense. Next question comes from Anthony Playfoot. Have you ever played Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World? No, I have not. Something about it just seemed to turn me off. I'm not sure what. Maybe it was the monster taming. Maybe it was the sort of slight change in format that kind of turned me off. I don't know. Maybe I should play that game. If any of you think it's a good game, feel free to let me know. I might try it sometime. Next question comes from Udom5. He asks, if Mega Man wasn't in Super Smash Bros., who else from the Mega Man franchise or other Capcom games would you have liked to see? Well, Zero, of course. I mean, his fighting style is practically built for Smash Bros. Other Capcom characters I would have liked to see, Beautiful Joe, because I love Beautiful Joe. It's one of my favorite cult classic games. And it would be awesome to see Beautiful Joe make a comeback. Speaking of which, I would really like to see Platinum and Capcom work together on that. Until then, I've got the wonderful 101. Next question comes from Plasma Knight. Who is your favorite and least favorite members of the original Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts? Forgive me for being predictable, but my least favorite is Larxene. I've heard about how annoying she is in Chain of Memories, even though I haven't played it. But her attitude is just so sickening. I mean, she's a sadist and she has no emotions. Do you really think that makes for a good combination? No. In fact, from my experience playing 358 Days Over 2, I can surmise that Larxene was even a jerk to her own allies. If you've played 358 Days Over 2, you'd understand why. As for my favorite, Roxas, no question. I mean, he was a very special character in the series. He's one of the few in the series that actually had some degree of development. Besides, you can't go wrong with the Keyblade wielder. And while I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, I heard the battle with him in that game is spectacular. So yeah. Last question comes from the Brawl Kid 8. Were there any honorable mentions to yours and WeDude83 Rebirth's top 10 cheapest fighting game bosses collab? Read the descriptions!